They should start putting Ozempic in the water of cruise ships. When people get off, they're going to go, did you notice you lost a couple pounds? And they'll be like, yeah, this is the first time I ever got off of a boat, not 20 pounds heavier. And they'll be like, we've been spiking the water.
I'm honestly in favor of an actual injection when you get on the cruise.
I think it would be fun you turn it into a game. You don't know when it's going to come, and the staff has blow darts. You're at the Baccarat table, all of a sudden, Rick gets one right in the neck.
Yeah, and you see Mary about to get on a slide that she shouldn't be on.
Yeah, I saw Tyrone at the soft serve hit him with 2.
He needed it.
I'm telling you, bro. I think instead of fluoride, we switch out fluoride for sedatives and GLP-1s. The entire country would be happier.
Or maybe even a little vitamin B, vitamin D. Why can't we put vitamin D in the water? Aren't we all vitamin D deficient?
I'll even double you, triple you this. What if every major coffee chain just started serving decaf and didn't tell anyone?
I would love to know what would happen to people.
2 Jews, both big and tall, no subject too small for the good guys. A Mother's Dream premium podcast team, make it your weekly routine. It's a Good Guys. And if you don't give us 5 stars, what are you nuts? What are you nuts? Yeah, we're the good guys, we're not the great guys. We're just so good guys. Whoa.
Joshua, Benjamin, they are friends. Judaism.
Benjamin,
Joshua, Benjamin, coming to ya. They are friends for now until they have a dispute eventually, because this podcast gets really big and then they don't want to do a 50-50 split. And eventually it comes down to money. It always comes down to money, and we ruin everything.
Yeah. Hello. God, that is gorgeous.
God bless.
We just need to just like start out every show with a nice little song. If only we had pre-recorded a song. What are we, nuts? It's going from song to song.
I know.
No, it's
all right.
it's
We're creative.
excellent.
We're good. We're creative.
We're creative. We're great. Josh, yesterday I was in the great state of South Carolina.
Lucky.
I woke up. I was there just for the day. I get on my first flight. We're doing an in and out because no more sleeping somewhere. Claudia needs me home. Or at that point, if I sleep in a different state, she's going to bug out. So we did the in and out, Josh. I sit on my first flight. It's a Delta flight. My flight home is a United flight. I get a text from United that says, we've moved you due to air traffic control issues. We've moved your flight from, it was at 8:18 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next day. We hope this still works with your schedule. What are you, nuts? Why would it still work with my schedule? Who sends a text like that? Have you ever heard of an airline doing that? It's normally like an apology. It's like, hey, we're so sorry we had to bump you. You can rebook if you want. Not, we've moved your flight to the next day. We hope that still works with your schedule. Why would it work with my schedule, Josh?
Yeah, it's a little gaslighty.
I thought it was nuts. That's all.
Yeah.
That's
So what
not
did
my
you
what are
do?
you nuts for later. I have another what are you nuts later. That's a bonus nuts.
What did you do, Ben?
Me and the great Craig Conover from Southern Charm
So
had him on our
handsome,
podcast.
crushing it.
Yeah, he's so handsome. I don't know whose muscles are bigger, you or his, because you guys are both on the bench machine. I know whose are the smallest.
No, Craig is crushed. Craig's got those good genetics. Let me tell you, Paige, you did him a favor. No, I'm kidding.
Craig is crushing it. He's huge. He's handsome. We did a nice meet and greet, Josh, at Harris Teeter. We did a Sprit Society meet and greet. 1,200 people came. It was wild. I would say 1,154 for him, but 50 were there for me.
Huge.
His fans are so different. It's amazing. So many old ladies. I couldn't believe it. Like, seriously, 70 to 80-year-old women gawking over him. Huge fans of Southern Charm. Also, of course, younger people, but this was a wide range, 25 to 75. Usually our meet and greets sit 25 to 35 years old. Yeah, we did a nice meet and greet. It was successful. It was fantastic. I then, because they canceled my United flight, I booked a one-stop home. Shout out American Airlines. Flew from South Carolina to North Carolina home. Seamless, beautiful. Will be flying American again.
I'm guessing you were on an Embraer 1750 plane and or a Boeing 737 and or a Airbus 319 Sharklets.
I think that this was an Airbus.
A319 or a 320, maybe.
It was probably the 19 because there were no TVs. This is the problem with American. Get some damn TVs. Okay? I every time I've flown American, there's no TVs. The regional flight should have TVs, Josh. Your boy sat up front, nothing. That said, thank God, I downloaded Monopoly on my phone, Josh.
Monopoly Go?
Just Monopoly.
Huh.
I play standard Monopoly. I have the app. It's amazing. Just in case there's no Wi-Fi. Love it. I beat the computer twice.
Tell me you're Jewish without telling me you're Jewish. Wow, good for you.
I love it. It's great. You hop on, you start playing Monopoly, and these computers, they're so stupid. They'll land on a space. I'll offer them $200 for, I don't know, Oriental Avenue. Can we still say Oriental Avenue? It's in the game. $200 for $200 for Oriental Avenue, and they just paid $100 for it, and they're like, no problem. We'd rather take the cash. Meanwhile, I'm collecting properties. It's fantastic.
You're playing the long game.
When was the last time you played Monopoly?
When's the last time I played? I play with my son, although he's at the age where standard Monopoly is a little bit too time consuming. So they have Monopoly Junior we play.
That's fun. Did I tell you, Josh, that during COVID, I played Monopoly 2 or 3 times a week? Me and my friends would sit and we would play Monopoly. It is so fun when you actually sit and play a serious game of Monopoly. No cheaters.
Right.
Everybody's there to play. It's a great game. I love it. Highly recommend.
I just think you need to keep your dice rolls speedy. The move,
yes, for sure.
You move up, hit it, go, buy it,
yes.
Don't buy it, keep going.
It has to be fast. Otherwise the game can run on 100%. Go.
I play chess with Max over dinner. So it gives us something to do because he always wants to watch a show. And I'm like, well, on the days where I'm trying to be a good parent, I'm like, come on, we'll play chess. And he's getting good. It's fun. And we play with a clock. So that's the key, by the way. If you want to teach your kid, like, I guess it's mostly games like that or checkers or just buy a $20 chess clock from Amazon. And then they got to keep it moving or they're going to lose.
Otherwise, they're going to lose. And Josh is going to be upset at them. That's another thing. It's good to put light pressure on for speed. Nobody likes a slow chess player. This is no good.
No, speed chess is the way.
Absolutely. What other games do you guys play?
Nothing else. I mean, as far as board games go, we play Battleship. We're big Trouble people. We're big Sorry folks. We're big Bananagrams. I mean, listen, I'm wealthy.
You know what game I love, Josh? You know what I've been playing a lot? Backgammon. Love it. Some call it Sheshbesh. It's fantastic.
I don't know how to play backgammon, but I know that it goes perfectly with hookah and tea with mint, so I'm down.
It does. It does. Absolutely. It is certainly a Persian game, and it is wonderful.
Yes.
I love it. You should teach Max. They also make gorgeous boards. Some of these backgammon boards, they're beautiful.
So beautiful.
Like limestone. I love board games. We don't play enough board games.
Where internationally is the first place that you would like to take Ben Jr., Baruch Hashem, when they're here? When your baby's old enough, where's the first place out of the country you'd like to take him?
Oh, that's a great question. Probably somewhere like not too far, like a nice beach. Maybe we're going to like a Turks and Caicos or somewhere not so crazy. But then I would love to take him to Israel. Love to. But he needs to be older. He needs to be able to appreciate it. I don't need a 12-hour flight for somebody that can't appreciate it. So Turks, 4 hours, 3.5 hours. He'll love the beach. Has Max been out of the country? Oh, I guess Vancouver. Besides Vancouver, has Max been out of the country?
Can I interest you in Ottawa? No. I'm bullish on Canada. Has he been out of the country? No. That's it, Vancouver. Yeah.
I'm not dying to bring him out of the country. I'm not going to lie. Until he's, I don't know. What do you think is the right age? 8? I feel like 8 years old is the right age to start to go on like real trips.
I mean, Max is at the age now. We've taken a 4.5 hour flight and he was perfect. I mean, he had his iPad, he enjoyed the meal, he watched a show, he was crushing it. So, and that was right around 5 years old. So I feel like at five on, and it's cool. It's cool to see. My experience is that by the time I was like 30 or 31, everything sucked. Like nothing lived up to the hype anymore. And I had
Yeah.
done and experienced most things where I was like, meh. And now getting to re-experience those exact same things through your kid's eyes makes it as great or better than it ever was.
Oh, I can't wait. Honestly, I think that single soundbite got me more excited to be a father than anything else because I can 100% relate to things that were really exciting have just become completely mundane. I was even thinking this the other night. Like I'm such a diehard Knicks fan. I love them so much, but because of this, it's going to sound terrible, but like I can't go unless I'm in great seats, and like that sucks. But like if I'm taking somebody to a Knick game for their first time, I used to love sitting anywhere, just like being in the garden, meeting a player. Like I remember I would leave the garden, I'd stand out of 4 Penn with my dad, and we would wait for the players to come out. And catching a glimpse of Allen Houston was the greatest day of my life. And, like being able to relive those little things sounds unbelievable. How exciting.
Even the mundane things like going to a Dick's Sporting Goods. Like,
Yeah.
this is the way my son lights up, like renting a car. Like when I rented a Kia Soul with my son, and my son said, I've always wanted you to get this car, Dad, but I was afraid it was too expensive. And I'm like, kid, we can get two. Like, it's all of this.
Innocence. It's amazing.
Yeah, man. And God, it's such a great thing. It's a great thing when a kid isn't jaded because it's so easy to become jaded young.
Yeah.
And it's so great when you do your best to, I don't think you want to insulate your kids from struggle necessarily or from some of the realities of what the world is like. Because I do think that parents in general, Thomas Lennon, the great Thomas Lennon from Reno 911 and genius comedian was like, we have a whole generation of people that never got told, hey, knock it off. Right. Because we coddled a certain generation with such like perfect, soft handling that they were never told by a older person, just like, that's unacceptable, like, which I think would serve them. But that being said, like, if you can keep your kid kind of pure and innocent for as long as possible, I think it's kind of the move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because life will life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Life will knock them down. You don't have to knock them down.
I really like that I have a 6-year-old kid who's, stoked on the things that are uniquely young. And certain things, I remember there was like, I asked his mom, my wife, Paige, I asked his mom.
I was going to say, it sounded like you have a divorcee.
It does. But it is like, it's weird. It'll be interesting to see how you and Claudia do it because I find myself, I defer to Paige a lot because I believe that her instincts on rearing kids are better than mine in most cases. So I am her top lieutenant, but we're really going by her game plan. Which I think is important.
Claudia and Paige are similar, and me and you are similar. I definitely fear, I see it with Romeo, or I've seen it with Theo. Like, if it wasn't for Claudia saying, no, we need to put him in the crate so he learns not to bark, I would raise terrible dogs, and similarly with children, like sometimes they need to be told, no, I'm not good at that at all. And maybe Claudia's just good with it because it's a dog. Maybe it'll be a lot harder with a child, but she's just, she sees a step further than me. I see this moment, right? And this moment I want to make as great as possible, which involves less discipline. She sees the next time being better because we disciplined this time. So, which I feel like is Paige. Is it not?
The bigger picture of it.
Yeah.
Dude, it happened this morning because we're potty training Shy, but
Yeah.
he had an accident at the park yesterday, and he's still, he's kind of newly 2. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's almost 2.5. So this is about the time you would do it. But I'm like, come on, we got a long runway till 3.
Yeah.
But this morning now he's been walking around in underwear to get used to it. And I woke him up this morning and I changed him as I do, because obviously he sleeps in a diaper. And I just put a new diaper on him, and Paige looked at me like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "It's the morning. What are you, nuts? Like, come on." I was like, he boo-boos in the morning, gross. Like, come on, are you nuts? And she's like, "Josh, you're messing up what I'm doing." Like, yeah, obviously this sucks and he's going to have accidents, but it's like, he'll never learn if you do it this way. I'm like, yeah, but it's harder for me.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
But
we're so lucky.
We are so lucky. And like the other day, my son was watching a show, and it was like a kid show on Netflix, but they said the word boobies. And I'm like, huh. And I was like, it was like this Australian kid show. And I'm like, oh, you Aussies. It's crazy. It's a continent full of criminals. But it's true. That's where they went. That's where they put them.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, what do I do here? Because normally I would just be like, hey, don't say that word. I didn't even know if he knew what it was. But I like brought him upstairs and I was like, Mom, Max heard a word and I wanted to teach him why it's not really appropriate that we say it. Because I know that it's not that it's such a bad word, but if he said it in front of other adults, they would judge it.
Yeah, they'd be like, who's saying boobies in the home?
Right. And it's a silly word, right? So
it is. It's for sure, boobies.
Yeah, boobies, it's fun.
It's a nice word. It wouldn't be the worst word. Now, if Max is walking around yelling tits,
right? Jugs. My wife goes, that's like a fun, a silly name for like, and my sister-in-law Blake has a baby, Gus, and so she said something to the effect of like, how Blake feeds Gus, and immediately like she brought it down to like a term that's like, I don't know, it like really like humanized it, and it took kind of the novelty out of it, and just like, that's a funny name for what Blake has on her body that helps feed Gus. And suddenly it's like, oh, well, it's like, it's not a novelty anymore. It's just like, oh, okay. It's just a human. Okay. I understand. It's part of the human anatomy.
And because she made it normal and serious, he won't use it again.
Right.
He won't use it in a weird context. If you had said, oh, it's a funny word for breasts, then he would have made it funny and used it.
Yeah.
Genius. Paige is a genius.
How did she think of that? So smart.
I don't know. It's really smart. Really smart. Because I definitely would have said, oh, it's just a playful word for, I probably would have said, like, my breasts.
Right. And then their sizes, like your daddy Josh has a B cup depending on where he's at weight-wise.
Yeah. Yeah. And Uncle Ben's strictly at a C.
And Uncle Ben is at a full C, but they're perky.
They're perky. He's proud of them.
Yes. Although I will say, for my slight insecurity of gynecomastia, I've been going to what's it called? It's called Beauty Lounge Med Spa, which there's some of the best. They really serve some of the greater influencers in the greater influencer area. And Celebrity Nurse V, she's the best. And
you're not going to end up, I didn't respond to you over DMs. I wanted to talk about it. You're not going to end up on botched, right? Like, I want to make sure that we're not doing anything too much.
I don't do anything. I do really non-invasive, right? So they have this thing called Soft Wave, which is like a tightening thing, and they've been doing it on my chest. I think it's working, dear. I'm about to start wearing white again.
You think it's tightening your chest?
Yeah, it's basically like it heats up the tissue under the initial layer of the skin to like promote collagen and to make things like to promote elasticity. And people do it on their face, but you can do it on your body too. All I do is that, and I do like a laser to get off any like pre-cancers or sunspots.
Sounds good to me.
No downtime.
I approve.
And they give me whippets while I'm doing it. It's called nitrous oxide.
Sounds amazing. I'm in.
But yeah, I mean, shout out. I'm getting excited because what I have, you can't really fix. You can fix it with surgery, but there's an extreme scar, which is almost worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but it's working. Okay, that's good. What did you ever have lopsided breasts? One was obviously bigger than the other, right? Do you remember which one was bigger?
Yes, absolutely. It's still the right.
My right is bigger.
Why do you think it's because it's the dominant side?
I'm not sure, but my right breast, like right now, I'm sure if you look in the video, my left is it's in a good place. I'm in a good place weight wise where I don't really have tits. Like they're a little bit mellower, but my right is still, you could get like a nice squeeze on the right. The left there, it's more of a pinch. And the more weight I gain, the right is significantly larger than the left.
Can I tell you something that I look up to you about?
Tell me.
And I'd love to know the way your brain computes it, because I only see through my own eyes. There's videos of you in underwear on Claudia's social media, stretching out her dress for her. Beautiful, the perfect husband. And I think your body is fucking cute. Like you're not a bear, but you're an otter. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, you're perfect. You're all man. But like to your point, like you want to lose a couple more lbs,
yes.
and yet you feel like knowing your body's going to be just in underwear on social media. Does it not, like, is there not a wave of fear or insecurity? Like you just feel confident, which you should. I don't know from that.
It's a good question. It definitely took me a long time to feel like that. My wife makes me feel like that though. Like I'm very secure in my relationship, so I don't care. Like I'm losing weight only because I love the way that I look in clothing better when I'm skinnier. And maybe because I'm a little bit healthier. But shirt off, it doesn't matter to me. Once the shirt's off, the shirt's off. You know? And my wife definitely makes me feel very secure. And I think the biggest thing is I really don't give a shit at all. I don't care at all. Like, I think I look great. Hopefully you think I look great. If you don't think I look great, I'm married and I don't care. Like, you know, like it's not like there just like isn't necessarily a reason to care. But it took me a while to feel that way for sure. And yeah, I'm just happy and confident and I like being silly. That's the me in my underwear. But
I loved it. I mean, I did find it weird that Olivia made it the background on her phone. But to each their own. And if you go to like a pool or the beach or whatever and you like throw your shirt off, there's never a second thought. Not that there should be.
No. There used to be. Now there's nothing.
How cool.
There's absolutely nothing.
What a gift.
I think it also came from when I started to hike up my undies, hike up my bathing suits. Like, I'm not wearing bathing suits below the belly. I'm not like not on a carnival cruise. Like, I'm wearing a size extra and I'm sort of tucking things the way that they should be tucked. By far, what I've historically been most self-conscious about, honestly, this is really what it is, Josh. I've been most self-conscious about love handles and saggy belly, right? This upper part of me, my stomach, like my legs, like that's never, ever been a cause of insecurity. I would feel incredibly insecure if I was wearing a very small bathing suit that didn't allow for it to sort of hide some of the things that I feel less good about.
Gotcha.
And if you notice in that Instagram, my undies were definitely hiked. Like you didn't see my love handles just like pouring out or my stomach pouring over. So I think that's it also. I've gotten to a place where I'm comfortable as long as those things are taken care of.
Good for you. I've got
You
like,
should be too. I don't even know what you're. I mean, I shouldn't say it like that because I understand it, but
like,
really, you really shouldn't feel that way.
look, I've got here. Let me hike up mine a little bit before I show off. But like, look, I feel okay. But look, I got my little tiger stripes. I have my genetically modified belly button created in a lab.
But you look great. Look at me. Like,
You know what I'm
yeah, you
saying?
look great.
Oh,
By the way, if you're not watching on YouTube, you can literally see my whole belly. You should be. Like, I think you look great. We look great. You know how many people are so much fatter than us?
so much fatter. You know what? Every time we feel
I
insecure, we
feel
should book
so
a cruise.
fat. I feel so fat. I'm sure you feel fat too. We're really not. You're not fat at all. I'm really not that fat. There are
Not
so
at
many
all.
people that are so fat. These fucking fatties. They should be self-conscious. I'm just kidding.
You know what they
You
should
should
do?
never.
They should start putting Ozempic in the water of cruise ships,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then
yes.
when people get off, they're going to go, did you notice you lost a couple pounds? And be like, yeah, this is the first time I ever got off of a boat, not 20 pounds heavier. And they'll be
Yes.
like, we've been spiking the water with GLP-1 agonists.
And Josh, you know how much money they'd save on food?
Yes.
They put out a fourth of the buffet.
And just the water they use for toilet flushing,
Yes.
you know?
Yes, Josh. Yes, of course. I'm honestly in favor of an actual injection when you get on the cruise. You hand in your ticket, they shoot you in the arm, and you go on your merry way.
I think it would be fun you turn it into a game. You don't know when it's going to come, and the staff has blow darts. So,
Yes.
You're at the Baccarat table. All of a sudden, Rick gets one right in the neck.
Yeah.
Hit
Yeah,
me.
and you see,
Fuck.
and you see Mary about to get on a slide that she shouldn't be on.
Yeah.
Neck.
I saw Tyrone at the soft serve hit him with 2.
Yeah. He needed it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, bro. I think instead of fluoride, we switch out fluoride for sedatives and GLP-1s. The entire country would be happier.
They would be.
Can you
They would be
imagine that?
Honestly, that's genius, Josh.
I know.
That's genius.
I
Or
know.
instead of
I said it.
Or maybe even a little, what about some, like, vitamin B, vitamin D? Why can't we put vitamin D in the water? Aren't we all vitamin D deficient?
I'll even triple you this. What if every major coffee chain just started serving decaf and didn't tell anyone?
I would love to know what would happen to people. What I thought you were going to say is, what if every single major coffee company started putting vitamin D, vitamin B, some stuff in the coffee you wouldn't even know?
Yeah. But I'm telling you, I told you the catering secret that all my friends who work for catering, who am I telling? The son of a caterer. But did your dad do this? Because I've heard that
with bottles of alcohol?
No, I've heard that at any kind of dinner where it's being catered, you're at a ballroom, whatever, bar mitzvah, wedding, that when the desserts come out and they offer you coffee and they say, would you like decaf or regular? It's really all decaf because they want you to go home, and B, they don't want to take a risk that someone has a heart condition and they poured the wrong cup.
Interesting. No, my dad definitely serves regular coffee.
Okay.
If he's offering up regular coffee, it's regular. But that's very interesting. I've never understood why I would ever want coffee at 10:30 at night.
Nuts.
Do you understand those people? Like people
it's
who order an
nuts.
espresso after dinner? Like, what are you doing? If I have an espresso after dinner, I'm up until 4 a.m. and my week is ruined.
I guess the idea is if you finish dinner at 8 and then you're going to go out till midnight or 1, but
maybe, yes, if you're going out for sure. But like, I've seen people, they're at an Italian restaurant. They say, you want an espresso? They're like, sure. And then they go home. Like, what are you, nuts? What are you doing?
it's pretty wild.
As a digestive.
I guess that, and I will say that dessert is just better with a little coffee, but do decaf.
Do decaf. 100%.
Should we get to some speak pipes?
Yes.
If you want to leave us a message, get some advice from us, you have a question, go to speakpipe.com/goodguys. Keep it brief. Brevity is key. I can't stress that enough. And make it questions or advice and nothing else. Here, let's hear from Gemma. Let's hear from. Darn it, I lost it. Hold on. Are we still doing the Samsung Galaxy ads? Okay, this is my fault, not Samsung's. Okay, the first one is from Anonymous.
Hey, good guys, huge moron, huge toaster. I just want to let you know that my fiance and I have a joint lifetime membership, and we both go to the sauna and the steam room after we work out. I wear a sports bra and shorts. He wears, apparently, nothing. He goes with his best friend, and I asked him what he wears in the steam room, and he said, nothing. I said, do you have a towel over him? And he kind of hesitated, and I'm wondering if it is weird to go with your best friend into a steam room with nothing on. How do you have the towel? Do you have it wrapped around your waist? Do you have it open? He said the steam, you can't see anything. I am so weirded out, and ever since I told him, he's very self-conscious about this. Please let me know. I love y'all. Thank you.
I'm floored. I'm completely floored. First of all, let's take a step back, Josh.
Okay.
What is a joint lifetime membership?
It's Lifetime Fitness.
Lifetime Fitness, but you can pay there's a couples fee?
That they have that at a lot of gyms, or a family fee.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay, I got to look into that. Next, in the schwitz, unless I'm doing like we're at the Live method, we're cold plunging, we're sauning, we're steaming, then I'm wearing a bathing suit because I'm going actively from pools, etc. Otherwise, if I got a massage or something and I'm going into the steam room, I'm going in with nothing but a towel. But that towel is remaining around me the entire time. And you can be sure that that towel is tucked well above my belly button so that I feel incredibly secure and safe. The idea of sitting naked, ass naked, in a steam room next to somebody who's also ass naked is gay.
It's true.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It's inviting something that
yeah,
you
if
either
I
want
was
or
in there
don't want.
naked with, yeah, if I was in there naked next to my wife, it would be straight and I would want to have sex. So if you're doing it next to your other male counterpart, it's gay. This episode of the Good Guys Podcast is brought to you by our friends at Little Spoon. As a parent, we never want to sacrifice quality for convenience, yet so many babies and kids' food options today just don't meet the mark. That's why I love Little Spoon. They deliver healthy, ready-to-eat meals and snacks that your baby, toddler, or big kid will love and that you can actually feel good about. All of their products are junk-free, organic where it counts, and thoughtfully sourced. They really know what parents want today, and they make it so easy. Plus, they're the first baby and toddler food company to set strict, publicly available standards for heavy metals, pesticides, and more in their food. Peace of mind every parent deserves. An easier mealtime without sacrificing on quality. I'm telling you, folks, Little Spoon is it. I love their puffs. They taste delicious. So if I love them, I'm sure that your kids will love them. They're absolutely wonderful. And let me talk to you. They have baby blends, okay, which are certified organic baby food, from single ingredients to textured purees to take the stress out of starting solids. They have puffs made with 6 organic ingredients, biteables, which is the transition to table early finger food meals. They have plates for toddlers and big kids, smoothies, lunches, snacks. They have something for every age. It's absolutely wonderful. They're really a one-stop shop for your kids. And did I mention it all comes right to my door? So flexible, so easy, and everything stores right in the fridge and freezer. I picked the menu and changed up what I order every time. The price is right. The quality is unmatched. I love it. Your kids will love it. I'm telling you, the grandparents love it. A huge win-win-win for the whole family. And it can all be yours, folks. It can all be yours. If you want to simplify your kiddos' mealtime, you go to littlespoon.com/goodguys to get 30% off your first order. That's code GOODGUYS at Littlespoon, LITTLESPOON.com/goodguys for 30% off your first Little Spoon order. Thank you, Little Spoon, for sponsoring this episode. This episode of the Good Guys Podcast is brought to you by Bobby. Folks, let's be real. Feeding your baby isn't a one-size-fits-all. That's why Bobby exists, to support you wherever you are in your journey. Whether you're exclusively formula feeding, combo feeding, or just need a backup can in the pantry, Bobby has your back. Bobby's formulas are USDA organic, clean label certified, and modeled after breast milk, so they're easy on tiny tummies. Choose from their OG, much-loved organic original infant formula, their grass-fed whole milk recipe, or gentler options for sensitive babies' bellies, or their exciting new organic whole milk recipe, the world's first and only organic whole milk recipe. Bobby is a proudly mom-founded and mom-led team that sets a new standard for infant formula. Over 500,000 parents trust Bobby to nourish their babies, and they're just getting started. Folks, I'm telling you, Bobby is it. If you're looking for formula, I've heard they are just the cat's meow. You got to try Bobby. It's Bobby or nothing, okay? Bobby or nothing. And folks, if you want to try Bobby for your kids today, Bobby is offering an additional 10% off your purchase with code GOODGUYS. That's hibobby.com to find Bobby formula that fits your journey. HIBOBBIE.com, promo code GOODGUYS for 10% off on your purchases today.
I remember once Paige and I went to a contrast therapy place where it's private and you have, an infrared sauna for it could hold up to 4 people. So it's not huge. And a cold plunge, and you rent out the room for an hour, 2 hours. So we went together, and at first I think she had like a bathing suit on, and I said, "I'm your husband." And I'm like, "Don't wear that." And then we're like both naked in there. And of course, I'm like incredibly turned on. And I just kind of gave her a look, and she was like, "Are you nuts?" I couldn't feel any less attractive than sweating like a pig next to you. And I'm like, cool, same.
Yeah, me too.
For sure. I'll just put this thing away. I'll just get in the cold plunge now and let it go back in my body.
That's funny.
Olivia? No.
But yeah,
Gotcha,
it's incredibly nuts. You should be worried about your husband. It's completely nuts and not normal.
It's pretty, I agree. I use the Schwitz at Equinox. Shout out Equinox. I love it. They have a lovely sauna, and I use it 5 days a week, and I have a towel wrapped around my waist.
Even men that walk around the locker room naked, which is a whole nother level of either self-confidence or not giving a shit. They still wear a towel when they go into a steam room.
Right.
I don't know. I've never, and I am on high alert for what he nuts is. So I'm constantly looking everywhere all the time for things that are insane. I have never, ever seen somebody walk into a steam room without a towel.
I've certainly seen people in the steam without it, but it's not at Equinox, but at other places, and it's usually at
aren't they
country
sitting
clubs.
on it though? But aren't they sitting on it, Josh?
Yes, but it's mostly it's been old guys.
Sure, but they still walked in with the towel. They sat down, and maybe it fell off. They're not sitting ass on wood.
Fair, yes.
Yeah, there's funny business going on, lady. There's funny business going on.
It's weird.
I hate to break it to you, but
shout out your husband.
Yeah.
Oh, this.
I'm sure he's thrilled. I'm sure he's thrilled at that speak pipe.
Here's another one coming from Anonymous.
Hey, Josh and Ben. Huge moron. Love the pod. To keep a very long story short, my mother got into a open relationship about 8 years ago, and they had a deal where he was able to stray while they lived in different states, but it was always supposed to be someone he never knew, and didn't have their phone number. So flash forward several years into their relationship, my mother is diagnosed with breast cancer, and she finds out that he used his open marriage while they were in the same state and with somebody who is a family friend. She obviously can't forgive him fully, and so she never stops talking about it, and I've told her to leave him. Do you think she's crazy? Should she leave? She really just never stops talking about how much she wants to kill this bitch. Any advice? Thanks. I don't know how to handle it anymore. Bye.
I think the answer is pretty obvious, right? The only part of it that's not obvious is that she's older. I'm very sorry that she has breast cancer. Maybe she doesn't want to find somebody else again. Maybe she doesn't want to be alone. Those are the only things that are in my head combating me saying that you should 100% leave the cheating man. Because there is a difference. I think an open relationship personally is a very slippery slope. And the fact that you did that already and assumed that throughout the entirety of your relationship that he wasn't doing this, I think is kind of nuts. But let's say that he was faithful in only having one night stands with women from other states that he never got their phone numbers for. Doing with a family friend while you have breast cancer, it doesn't sound like he's a very good guy to me. So if you can leave him, I would. And you being the daughter of this, be nice to your mom. She's going through a lot, but at some point, definitely tell her that she should probably find somebody that treats her right.
But what do you say to when people propose things like this? Like, I totally agree. I don't actually believe that open relationships are possible 9 out of 10 times. You have to have like the most rare of circumstance. But I do believe that when people are older and like they're in their 60s or 70s, they've had kids, they've done it all. The idea that at some point in their life, they look at their partner and go like, you mind? And the partner goes, do it. Like we've had a great run. Nothing's going to change with us. And that to me sounds more, because there's not the wreckage that can ensue.
Sure.
To me, that's what you're putting at risk when you have kids and a family, and is like the wreckage, how messy it can become just because you wanted to be able to sleep with multiple people.
But I think also the person's feelings. Like I don't know this because I'm not a 70-year-old woman, but like I would assume that a 70-year-old woman still wants to feel beautiful and wants to think that her husband thinks that she's beautiful. And so her husband going to her and saying, you mind if I go and sleep with somebody else, would imply that he's not getting what he needs. It's a tough situation, but I agree that open relationships obviously don't work. And the person proposing them, like, he just wants to sleep with other people. Like, and it's usually him.
Totally. I guess my only question would be at that age, right? Where like, if you are sick like that, I would imagine the number one thing you want is just someone to take care of you and to be there for you. If there was a world in which he was doing all those things, but every now and then he's hooking up with Flo from down the road, like, do you make, I think people would be more inclined at that age to make an exception, because I think it's hard in general to find someone to really take care of you.
Yeah, it definitely, now that you bring it up like that, it definitely does sound like that could be the case. But then she needs to just be comfortable with he's getting what he wants and she's getting what she wants. They're different things. But
right.
If her main goal is to have a caretaker, then as long as she's being taken care of, it shouldn't matter. But if she's looking for a faithful husband, then, or boyfriend or whatever, then she shouldn't be in an open relationship.
So true. Well, there's nothing open about this relationship. Let's hear from Jordan.
Shalom, good guys. It's Jordan from Oklahoma. Hey, wanted to ask a question. One of my coworkers brought up the other day that him and his girlfriend don't spend enough time together with their work schedules. And he told me that he has a comfy chair in his bathroom for his fiance to sit in while he's taking his shits, because he shits for so long. And I wanted to get your opinion and see if that was weird or not to you guys. Thanks so much. Bye.
Oh my God.
I've been excited to share that with you.
Oh my God. I don't even know how to react. Yes, it's incredibly strange. I feel bad for the guy because guys typically take long shits because we're scrolling. We don't want to talk to anybody. We're having a nice time. Maybe something will come. Maybe something won't. It's nice, peace and quiet. We're on TikTok or on Instagram or reading emails, whatever. It's time to yourself. The shitting and talking to somebody while shitting, the ultimate, what are you, nuts? That's crazy.
So I haven't been talking to my sister lately because she did it again. And I told her, listen, I'm not going to talk to Dad if you're going to talk.
Yucky.
So I'm up for that promotion, right? So they wanted to know if I had leadership quality.
It's nuts.
Get your man's Metamucil.
No, leave him alone. Let him take a shit in peace. That's not even a stage 5 clinger. That's a stage 50. You can find time to see each other outside when he needs to take a shit. Okay? Like whatever you think is going on, working too hard, you're not prioritizing each other, and you're only fooling yourself if you think that spending time with him while he's taking a dump is going to help your relationship. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Discover. If there's one thing we've learned from the entertainment industry, it's just how easy it is to earn a reputation, even if it doesn't reflect who you really are. For example, everybody thinks that Discover is a card that isn't widely accepted, but in reality, it's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Yeah, 99%. So maybe now you'll think twice before judging a book by its cover, unless it's a celebrity cookbook. In that case, judge away. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by Koala Couches. There are a lot of awesome things that have come out of Australia. Okay, folks, maybe the Hemsworth brothers, Uggs. You know how much I love Uggs? The Crocodile Hunter. But my new favorite Aussie export that's finally available in the US is the Koala sofa bed, because folks, this is a sofa bed that is comfortable. This is a sofa bed that is gorgeous. The colors are fantastic. The quality is high. And there's literally nothing cooler than inviting a friend over to sleep over and having a perfectly amazing sofa bed. One that they look at and they're like, oh, I would love to sleep on this. Well, folks, that is the Koala sofa bed because it's seriously comfortable. Koala makes the most comfortable mattresses, and the sofa beds actually use their mattress technology inside. They're not just throwing some random mattress that's going to break. We've all slept on a bad sofa bed. This is the polar opposite. Beautiful colors. Inspired by Aussie Outback, Koala delivers Instagram-worthy color options. No sad beige or millennial gray here. What are you, nuts? No uncomfortable metal frames. Tool-free assembly. Perfect for small spaces. There's no need for a guest room because Koala sofa bed comes in 3 sizes. Where else are you going to get multiple sizes, folks, but Koala? It's eco-friendly and ethical, and there's fast shipping with free returns, no restocking fees. How annoying is that? You order something, it comes, you don't like it, you have to pay a restocking fee? No, not with them. They understand that your money is important to you. And they have a 120-night risk-free trial, nearly 4 months to make sure that it's the perfect fit for your home. What more do you need to hear? Upgrade your space with the most stylish, customizable, and elevated sofa bed on the market today. To get $100 off your new sofa plus fast shipping, go to us.koala.com/good. That's us.koala.com/good to get $100 off your new sofa. Koala. Comfy, easy, sustainable.
Let's hear from someone else. I really had a good one ready to go. Let's hear from Anonymous.
Hey, Josh and Ben, or should I say Shalom from Israel. I recently got out of what I would call a serious relationship. I come from a community where 8 months is a long time, and I'm finally ready to get back out there and start dating again. And I've found that the shidduch crisis is real, and I wanted to know what your opinion was on it. I'm on the apps. I've started telling my friends. I've even told all those moms that are into setting people up. Like, I'm really trying to get myself back out there, but it seems to be really hard. If it helps, I'm 27, living in Israel, living my best life, and I love it. Yeah, thanks. Yalla, bye.
For those from Oklahoma, a shidduch is a setup. It's Yiddish for setup.
Like a matchmaker type thing.
Yeah, but even you could even make a shidduch though if you're not a matchmaker.
Sure,
Like you and Paige are out at a bar. I know both of you. I connect you. I made a shidduch. That's what that means. Yeah, I feel like apps have destroyed. It's impossible. Like how do you find people these days? I don't have the answer. I think that it's very, very difficult. And especially being, some might hear, 27 and think, oh, that's incredibly young. In the Jewish community, it's really not. Like, men and women typically, like, you found each other by around that age. And there's unfortunately a lot of stress on women to find a guy like before they're 30.
But Ben, may I push back on that? But I would say, when you say Jewish, right, because there's some sects like that, and then there's like the incredibly, I would say, like coastal liberal Jewish communities that wouldn't even be a thought, that well into your 30s and 40s you get married, have kids.
So maybe it's just different. Like I think that, and Olivia, I would love your thoughts. I think that in general, and maybe Jewish, maybe it's Judaism aside, I think that no matter what religion, for the most part, once a girl reaches the age of 30, if she has any type of slight religious leanings, I think that if you want to have a family, like, the biological clock starts ticking and you're thinking about it. If you're not a family person and that's not for you, then anytime or freezing your eggs, all that stuff is an option. But the second that I said Jewish, I regretted it, because I think in general, girls would prefer to meet their person before the age of 30.
I think like generally that's probably true, but I think if anything, the guilt might, or like, I don't know, I think there's like a guilt associated maybe with not being partnered by that point, but I don't know that I feel like a lot of that too, if we're talking religion, could come from like family or the church, or like, how involved you are, because there's like certain expectations that people have. And like, I even noticed, like, back where I'm from, like my hometown, it's more normal for people to like get married a little bit younger. Like, a lot of people I went to high school with are already married and have kids. Like, I'm 25 and I don't plan on doing that for like a few years, and kids like in my 30s is kind of what my plan is. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think if anything, it's like where you're located, societal pressure. If you are in like, a church or you're religious, like that, I'm sure adds another layer to it of, be fruitful and multiply. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a really shifting time. And depending on where you are, it makes a difference. But I don't think 27 is like old by any means. I know plenty of people who are still, looking for their person, and it just takes time. But yeah, I think it's more of a societal pressure than an internal one sometimes.
Agreed.
So what do you do? I mean, why have apps ruined everything? Is it just because it's so transactional?
I think so. That's what it sounds like. Like, it used to be a game, right? Like, it used to be there was courting involved. You had to actually amp yourself up, pump yourself up enough to go and talk to that girl. You used to have to stand up and walk over, introduce yourself. Like, all of that has just gone away. And like, now you can just swipe right on someone, or whatever the apps are that people are using now, and you're connected, and you didn't have to go through any of that. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's very, very hard. And I see it again. Maybe it's just specific to New York, but I hear what she said from a lot of New York girls in their late 20s, early 30s, that dating has never been harder.
Well, to our Israeli listener, Ma neshma, chol bisera, Yalla habibi. I I think that there is something uniquely exciting. I remember once I was eating at the sushi restaurant. I was like 24 years old, and this girl made eyes at me from across the sushi bar. And I remember asking her, like, when you like smiled at me, what were you thinking? She was like, that this guy's really into his tempura. But we smiled at each other. And I remember I didn't say anything, but like we happened to be leaving at the same time. And she was like there with some coworkers. And I just was like, well, I gotta, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it. And I was like, hi, how are you? And we just chatted for a minute and I got her phone number and we went on a couple of dates, but it was exciting and it took some skin in the game.
It's exciting. That's the other, it's endorphins, Josh. Like, do you get, again, like I missed the apps.
Me too.
Do you still get endorphins from them saying yes? Like, do you like the idea of walking up to a girl, asking her out and her saying yes? There was no greater feeling in the whole world than having that successful encounter. But now with apps, like, is that even a thing?
That's the thing, right? Because you know that if it doesn't work out, then you're going to have 100 other choices, like right there. Whereas if you met a, cute person at the gym or at sushi, like, when did that happen? Like maybe you got 2 or 3 of those a month. So it was more precious and you gave a little bit more. You tried a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Damn apps.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, so we have no advice for you, but good luck.
Well, try not to be jaded, and I always say that whenever you're feeling kind of lost, double down on the things that you know are good, no matter what. And whatever that is, and it's like by being good to yourself and relentless growth. Like what I find is the most attractive are people who are also working on themselves and not in the jerk-offy, self-centered Instagram way of like making themselves the most optimized version of themselves. I mean, is like the number one thing, and I know this is corny, but at 38 years old, I think about if I was ever like, if I was looking for someone at this age, what I would care about would be, what are you doing for other people? Like in your 30s, do you have something that you actively do that is selfless? Because if you don't, we're probably not on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It's funny, I said that I have no advice, and I don't mean to say lower your standards. I mean to say change your standards, because what I've also seen is that a lot of girls say that there are no guys out there, but they also only want to be set up with or meet the perfect looking guy. And it's like, you could also give people a chance, go on a date, see if they make you laugh, and maybe you'll fall in love with them in reverse. So advice would be is go on more dates. But yes, Josh, I agree with being selfless. You don't want to be married to a narcissist.
Well, not even a narcissist. I just find like, I guess at our age, I'm getting to this point where it's just like, worldly things, like I've become less interested. I feel like the currency, like the one thing that we pay back to the universe or to God as our cover charge for being alive is what we do for others. Yeah. And so I think once you get into your 30s, I understand people in their 20s, obviously in their teens and 20s, it's a time to be very self-focused. But in your 30s, even if you don't have kids or whatever, it's like, what are you doing to get out of yourself? Like, what are you doing for others? Because if it's all about like, I want to make the best version of me so I can make sure I'm going to Tulum annually, I'm less interested.
Amen.
Should we get to our What Are You Nuts?
Yes.
Our What Are You Nuts moment of the week are our gripes with people, places, and things, both big and small, whatever's sticking in your craw. Ben, after you.
I mentioned that I went to South Carolina yesterday, and folks, I hopped on the plane, Delta flight. Sitting down, and the flight attendant comes on and she says, "Good morning, everyone. Here at Delta, we are working towards fast, free Wi-Fi across all of our planes. Unfortunately, you don't have that today." Unfortunately, today, you can sign up and pay for Wi-Fi, but rest assured, we're working towards fast free Wi-Fi across all of our planes. What are you, nuts? Why do I give a shit what you're working towards on other planes if you're still going to charge me $14.95 for the flight for, by the way, terrible Wi-Fi? It's not only not fast and free, it's expensive and bad, okay? What are you, nuts? Who says that? Why are you updating me on Delta's policy that doesn't include me on this current Delta flight? I don't give a rat's ass.
It's so true.
They love that at Delta. We're working towards fast free Wi-Fi in 2027. I might be dead. Like, what are you telling me for?
It's so true. It could all be over.
Yeah. On a Delta, on that flight, literally the plane is crashing. And I'm thinking, I never got to experience fast free Wi-Fi.
They never got Starlink.
No, never got it.
It's so true. It's so true. My what are you nuts is checkout etiquette. And that means that you have to speed it up. And if you're at self-checkout, don't act like this is the first time you've been there. I know it isn't. I want you to imagine that you're a teenager looking for a promotion, okay? That you're working checkout at your local grocery store and you're going, bing, 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 okay? Don't look. Inspector Gadget's trying to find the barcode. It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom. Hasn't changed ever. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, and by the way, 20 items or less, 10 items or less. If you're self-checkouting with like 44 items, what are you, nuts?
It has to be about speed. You're 100% right.
It's speed.
Honestly, the real what are you nuts is somebody going in with over 20 things. Self-checkout, 5 things.
Yeah.
5 things. Quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not multiple bags. It honestly should be if it fits in one bag, you can use self-checkout.
Right.
If you need multiple bags and you're doubling bags, self-checkout's a what are you nuts. It's a way that these freaking big companies can steal all our money. You know what else is a what are you nuts, Josh?
Tell
People
me.
not giving 5 stars to this episode is a what are you nuts. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Watch us on YouTube. Share our clips. Instagram and TikTok, folks, Mondays and Thursdays. We will see you next time.